The morning air is crisp, just cold enough to make you aware of the day's possibilities. As he steps out of his car, the familiar weight of responsibility hangs over his shoulders. But today, something feels different. Today, he's ready for something to give. The weight of the world hasn't been easy to carry. The young black CEO walks into the building with a quiet confidence, his eyes scanning the reception area. The soft hum of office life surrounds him, people busy with their own tasks, their own stress. He's used to this environment. He's spent countless hours here, pushing his company forward, sometimes alone, sometimes alongside a small but loyal team. Every struggle, every sleepless night, every doubt from outsiders has been part of this journey. But none of it has felt like what he's about to face. He straightens his tie, his hand brushing over the fabric as a brief sense of reassurance washes over him. Another meeting, another set of challenges to conquer. Yet something gnaws at him, something unfamiliar in the pit of his stomach as he approaches the front desk. And then, as if fate had decided this was the moment to test him, it happens. The receptionist doesn't look up. She's too busy, too focused on her phone, tapping away at the screen as if he doesn't even exist. He clears his throat, a soft sound, a subtle reminder of his presence. "Excuse me," he says, his voice steady but firm. She finally looks up. A glance, a flicker of acknowledgement, but there's no warmth in it, no respect. Her eyes linger for just a second too long. Then in the most dismissive tone imaginable, she says, "Wait outside." The words hang in the air. The shock hits him first, like a cold slap in the face. Wait outside? Did she just... He feels the heat rise in his chest. His mind races, processing what he's heard. He's been through so much, years of being underestimated, of being told no, of facing doors slammed shut because of who he is, what he represents. He's fought for every inch of success, clawed his way to the top of the corporate ladder, and yet here he is, treated like an outsider in his own company. He doesn't say a word at first. He stands there still, almost paralyzed by the audacity of it. His brain is working in overdrive, thinking about what comes next. Is he supposed to tolerate this? Was this just a mistake? An offhand comment? His eyes flicker to the door, then back to the receptionist, who's already turned her attention away from him, focused back on her phone. The dismissiveness, the arrogance, it cuts deeper than he expected. No, he thinks, not today. A fire starts to burn within him. It's not anger, not just anger anyway. It's something sharper, something colder, a clarity that only comes when you've reached the breaking point. All the years of pushing back, of keeping his head down and fighting quietly, it's like a dam breaking loose. He takes a slow breath, feeling the weight of the moment settle on his chest. It's not just about the disrespect. It's not just about this single woman at this desk. It's about everything. The years of proving himself to others, the years of bending over backwards, of being forced to play by their rules. Rules that were never designed for someone like him. Rules that were designed to keep people like him out. No more. The receptionist hasn't even noticed that he's turned on his heel, heading straight for the elevator. There's no dramatic confrontation, no shouting. He doesn't need to make a scene. She doesn't even deserve one. Instead, the CEO walks past her calmly, as if the building itself isn't even worthy of his time. It's all happening so fast, but there's a strange sense of peace in the chaos, because he knows something she doesn't. This is where it all changes. The elevator doors slide shut, and for a moment, the black young CEO is swallowed by silence. The soft hum of the elevator is the only sound, the only thing that reminds him he's still in control, still moving forward. But inside, his mind is racing. His body is still, almost unnervingly so, but his thoughts are anything but. Wait outside? The words echo in his head, refusing to fade. What should he have done? Shouted, confronted her right there. It's easy to say what he could have done, but in the moment, he chose to walk away. Was that the right move? He presses the button for the top floor, but his finger lingers for just a second, hovering over it as the weight of the decision sets in. He could feel his blood boiling, an angry fire building up inside him. But at the same time, there's a strange calmness, a sense of control that he hasn't felt in a while. Why is this bothering me so much? It's just a receptionist, just one person. He's dealt with worse, much worse. He's faced more than his fair share of rejection, disrespect, and outright humiliation. People who've looked down on him because of his skin color, his youth, or his background. And this is just one more instance, right? So why does it feel different? The truth is, it's not about her. Not really. It's the principle of it. The way people like her always think they can get away with it. The way they assume they're better, that their position, no matter how small it might be, is more important than someone else's. His fingers flex on the elevator railing, his nails digging into the metal. The building, his company, everything he's worked for flashes in his mind. Every sacrifice, every late night, every ounce of energy he's poured into making this business what it is. It's all right here, all on the line. But what is it worth, really? What's the cost of standing up for himself? What if it backfires? What if he loses everything? The respect of his employees, the trust of his investors. What if it turns into something bigger than he can control? The question lingers, twisting in his gut. The system he's built, the company that now stands as a testament to his hard work, it was never easy. He's had to fight for every inch of success, just like any other black CEO out there. But this moment, it's different. This is personal. This is about something more than just business. It's about dignity. It's about respect. He remembers his father's words, something he used to say when he was younger. You can play by their rules, son, but one day you'll have to decide when to stop being their pawn. Was this that moment? Was this the line he'd been waiting for? The elevator dings softly as it reaches the top floor. He steps out, but his mind doesn't follow. It lingers, suspended in that one crucial moment, the moment when he decides whether to let this go or take it all the way. Every decision he's made so far, every sacrifice, it's led him here. And now it's about more than just one small incident. It's about standing his ground. He walks past his office, his gaze drifting over the glass walls, the familiar sight of his employees at their desks. The normalcy of it all feels strange now. This place, which once felt like home, now feels distant, foreign. It's as if he's seeing everything with new eyes. What if this is the start of something bigger? The idea takes root in his mind, slowly gaining momentum. The receptionist's dismissal wasn't just an insult to him. It was an insult to everything he's built, to the sacrifices of those who came before him, to the people who believed in him, supported him, and fought alongside him to get to this point. He breathes deeply, the weight of his decision beginning to settle in. This isn't just about me anymore. It's about all of us. As he walks toward his office, he already knows what he has to do. The moment the receptionist told him to wait outside, it set off something inside of him, something he can't ignore. He's not just going to walk away this time. No, this time, he's going to make them regret it. The decision is made. As he stands in front of his office window, looking out at the skyline, the weight of what's about to happen presses down on him. There's no turning back now. His anger has simmered long enough. It's time to act. But this isn't just about getting back at a receptionist who crossed the line. It's about making a statement, something far bigger than a single disrespectful moment. He turns away from the window, his mind focused, sharp. The familiar hum of the office continues around him, but it feels distant. Every sound, every movement, it's all just noise. Right now, his world is narrowing to one singular purpose, reclaiming his dignity and showing everyone, employees, investors, even the world, what happens when you cross the line with him. He picks up his phone, scrolling through the contact list. A list that has always been filled with people he trusts, people who have been by his side through thick and thin, or so he thought. It's time to test that loyalty. Time to find out who's really with him. First, he calls the head of HR. The conversation is brief, sharp, and to the point. I want a list of all employees who've had complaints about me in the last 6 months. I want it now. He doesn't wait for a response. He hangs up the phone before the HR manager can even begin to protest. He doesn't have time for explanations, not today. He's already made up his mind. Minutes later, the list arrives on his desk. He doesn't hesitate. He picks up the phone again. This time, it's his operations manager. "Meet me in my office, now," he says, his voice cool, calculated. The door opens a few minutes later, and the operations manager walks in, looking a little uneasy. He doesn't know what to expect. Neither does anyone else. Not yet. But that's the beauty of it. The CEO has always been the calm one, the one who handles the storms with poise. Today, the storm is his own making, and he's the one unleashing it. "What's this about?" the operations manager asks, sensing the tension in the air. The CEO doesn't answer right away. He stands up, walks to the window, and stares out over the city. The weight of his actions is starting to hit him now, but he doesn't falter. This is what needs to happen. "You've been undermining me," he says, his voice low, but with a steel edge. "I know about the meetings behind my back, the whispers, the plans to take this company in a direction I didn't approve of." The operations manager's face turns pale, and he opens his mouth to protest, but the CEO raises a hand. "I've given you every chance to prove your loyalty, and now you're out." The words hang in the air like a final sentence. There's no emotion in the CEO's tone, no joy, no anger. Just the cold finality of a decision that had to be made. Without waiting for a response, he picks up the phone again. This time, it's another key member of the team. The CEO doesn't even blink as he delivers the same message. Direct, unfeeling, and final. "You're fired." The ripple has started. One by one, the employees who've been disrespectful, who've tried to undermine him, who've thought they could get away with taking advantage of his quiet leadership style, they're gone. Each firing sends shock waves through the office. Whispers spread like wildfire, and a sense of uncertainty fills the air. People who once walked around with an air of superiority now scramble, unsure of what will happen next. The CEO's quiet strength has always been his greatest asset, but now he's unleashing something new, something no one can ignore. The office is tense, electric with a sense of chaos that's impossible to miss. But there's one more move to make, the receptionist. She's the one who sparked this, who set everything into motion. He's already made the decision. She won't just be reprimanded. This is bigger than that. She's a symbol, a reflection of the kind of disrespect he refuses to tolerate anymore. He grabs the phone again, but this time, the call is different. His voice remains calm, but there's an undeniable weight behind it. "I need you to meet me in my office, please." The receptionist's reaction is exactly what he expects. There's confusion, then fear. She doesn't understand why she's been called in. Her demeanor shifts from dismissive to nervous as she walks into the CEO's office. She stands there unsure, eyes darting around the room. "I've been thinking about what you said," the CEO begins, his tone cool but firm. "You told me to wait outside." She opens her mouth to respond, but he raises a hand to silence her. "Your disrespect was a choice, and now so is mine." The room is thick with tension. She realizes too late that the situation is more serious than she thought. But it's already done. The decision has been made. With a final cold glance, the CEO delivers his last blow. "You're fired." The CEO sits back in his chair, the weight of his decisions settling over him. His pulse still races, his emotions still raw, but he doesn't feel regret. Not yet. Not when he knows the kind of change this is going to bring. People will talk. They'll gossip. Some will resent him. Others will admire him. But the one thing no one will ever do again is underestimate him. He stands up from his desk, walks to the window again, and looks out over the city. The storm has passed. Now it's his time to rebuild. To build something stronger. Something that no one will dare disrespect again. The office is electric with shock. Word spreads fast. Too fast. It starts as whispers, passing through cubicles, down hallways, into the break room, where people huddled together in disbelief. The CEO has made his move, and the ripple effect is undeniable. At first, it's confusion. No one understands why. Some think it's a power play. Others wonder if it's just a temporary phase. But as the hours tick by, the reality sets in. People start to feel the weight of what's happened. Employees who've been riding the wave of complacency suddenly feel exposed. The CEO's actions have shaken them out of their comfort zones, and now they're facing something they didn't anticipate: fear. Some try to act like nothing's changed. They laugh it off, chat quietly at their desks, trying to keep up the facade of normalcy. But the tension is palpable, thick enough to cut with a knife. It's only a matter of time before someone else gets the axe. The uncertainty is hanging over everyone like a dark cloud. A few brave souls try to rally, to make excuses for the firings. It's a power move, will they say. It'll pass. But deep down, they know it won't. The CEO is different now. This isn't just a momentary outburst. It's a declaration. And the office knows it. As the day stretches on, the fear sets in. Everyone's wondering, who's next? Everyone is watching each other, waiting for the next move. The once comfortable hierarchy is gone, and it's been replaced by a sense of dread. Later that evening, the CEO sits alone in his office, staring at the city lights beyond the window. The weight of the day presses on him, but as he reflects, something clicks. This is what it takes, he thinks. This is what standing up for yourself, for what's right, really costs. For so long, he's been playing by the rules. Rules made by others. Rules that weren't built for someone like him. He's worked tirelessly to earn his place in the world, and he's fought battles on every front. But today it became clear that no matter how hard he worked, no matter how successful his company became, the system was always going to try to push him down. But he's done letting them push. This moment, this shocking turn of events, isn't just about him. It's about the world he's trying to build. A world where respect is earned, not given based on skin color or status. A world where people stand tall, not in fear of losing their position, but in pride of what they've achieved. The fallout isn't just a result of his actions. It's a reflection of everything he's been up against. And now the pieces are finally falling into place. The morning after the firings, the tension in the office is almost unbearable. No one can focus on their work. Everyone's eyes are on the door, waiting for the next person to walk in with that dreaded list of names. But the CEO hasn't called anyone in yet. Instead, he's made his way to the conference room. Word travels fast, and soon the entire team is gathering, the air thick with anticipation. People are on edge, whispering in corners, casting nervous glances at one another. Everyone knows that something is about to change, but no one knows exactly what. There's a sense of dread hanging over the office like a dark cloud, and the CEO's presence only amplifies it. When the team finally assembles, he stands before them, calm and collected. His eyes scan the room, lingering for a moment on the faces of those who once undermined him, the ones who didn't think he could pull this off. There's a mix of emotions in the room: fear, disbelief, and a growing sense of respect for the man who has now proven himself to be an unstoppable force. He doesn't say anything at first, allowing the silence to grow. The tension is almost suffocating, each second stretching on for what feels like an eternity. Then finally he speaks. "I've spent too long trying to fit into a world that was never made for people like me," he says, his voice unwavering. "But I'm done playing by your rules. This company is mine, and I'm the one who decides how things are done." The room goes still. No one dares to speak. The CEO's words hit like a punch to the gut. This is no longer about one person's disrespect. This is a reckoning, a shift in the very foundation of the company. Suddenly, the silence is broken by a voice filled with anger and disbelief. One of the employees, a senior manager who's been with the company for years, stands up and steps forward. "You can't do this," the manager says, voice trembling. "You can't just throw people out like this. We've worked hard to get here, and you're just going to destroy everything?" The CEO doesn't flinch. He steps closer, his gaze intense, unwavering. "Did you think I wouldn't notice? Did you think I wouldn't see how many of you have been plotting behind my back, trying to take what I've built?" His voice rises, but it's controlled, filled with purpose. "You thought you could tear me down, but it's over. You've crossed the line." There's a brief moment of hesitation. The manager looks around at the rest of the team, searching for support, but all he sees are faces full of doubt. The team is divided. Some are scared, some are angry, but none of them have the courage to challenge the CEO now. A few of the remaining employees glance nervously at each other, exchanging looks of disbelief. They thought they were safe, too comfortable in their positions. But they're starting to realize something now. The CEO has won. The power has shifted, and it's not going back. Then in an unexpected turn, one of the newer employees, a young woman who had stayed quiet through it all, stands up. Her voice is steady, but filled with the weight of everything that has happened. "Look around you," she says, addressing the room. "This company doesn't just belong to him, it belongs to all of us. But we have to stand together, not tear each other down. If we want to keep moving forward, we need to stop pretending that everything is fine." The CEO watches as the room falls silent again. The words linger in the air. For a brief moment, it feels like the entire company is on the edge, waiting to see if it will fall apart, or if it will find a way to come back together. The manager who had spoken out against the CEO looks to the others for support, but it's clear he's losing ground. Slowly, they begin to nod. A shift is happening. The CEO's power is undeniable now. His calm, unwavering strength has won the room. The company is standing at a crossroads, and it's no longer about what's been done. It's about what's next. The CEO takes one last look around, his gaze steady and sure. "This is my company now," he says, "and I won't let anyone disrespect what we've built." The silence that follows the confrontation is almost deafening. The CEO stands tall, his eyes scanning the room, searching for signs of respect, or perhaps even fear. But what he sees is something different, a shift, a change in the air. The battle is over. His actions have set the tone, and now the employees are left to process what just happened. Some still have doubt in their eyes, but most have come to understand one thing. This CEO is a force to be reckoned with. He didn't just take control, he changed the very fabric of the company. One by one, employees start to speak, some reluctantly, others with newfound resolve. The manager who had challenged him earlier finally lowers his head in defeat and quietly, almost reverently, nods. The power that was once in the hands of those who sought to undermine him is now his to wield. As the day moves on, the ripple effect spreads. New respect begins to take root, not because of his title, but because of his actions. They see now that he's not just a young CEO, he's a leader who commands authority, who refuses to bow down to anyone, no matter who they are. The CEO walks through the halls of the company, no longer just a figurehead, but the embodiment of the change he's brought. His decision to act swiftly, to challenge the system head-on, has reverberated through every corner of the office. The uncertainty has faded, replaced by a renewed sense of purpose. For the first time in years, the CEO feels peace. He's fought for this moment, and the satisfaction comes not just from the power he's reclaimed, but from the justice he's brought. Justice for himself, for the company, and for those who've supported him from the very beginning. His journey wasn't easy. It wasn't just about building a successful business. It was about confronting the deeper, unjust systems that had tried to hold him back. Now he knows this victory is more than just personal. It's a step forward for everyone in the company. The future looks different now. His company, once fragile and uncertain, now stands on a firm foundation. And the CEO knows this is only the beginning. The fire inside him has only grown stronger. What's next will be bigger, and it will be his. As the CEO stands before his office window, looking out at the city below, the weight of everything that's happened begins to settle in. The storm has passed, but the impact of his decisions will be felt for a long time. He reflects on the journey that led him here, the struggles, the setbacks, the moments of doubt. But most of all, he thinks about what he's learned. It's clear now that his actions, though drastic, were necessary. Standing up for himself wasn't just about proving a point to others. It was about reclaiming his own sense of self-worth, his dignity, and his leadership. It wasn't easy, and it certainly wasn't the safest route, but it was the right one. In a world that constantly pushes people down, sometimes the only way to rise is to stand tall and unapologetic in the face of adversity. He's learned that respect cannot be demanded from others. It must be earned, not just through hard work, but through standing firm when it matters most. There are moments in life when you must make a choice, not just for your own sake, but for those who rely on you. When you face disrespect or injustice, you don't have to accept it. You have the power to change the situation, but only if you're willing to take action, no matter how hard it might seem. The CEO knows this journey has changed him. It's not just about leading a company. It's about leading by example, showing others what it means to stand up for what's right, even if it means making tough decisions. The respect he's earned today wasn't just given to him. It was hard-won through action, courage, and an unwavering belief in himself. Looking out at the horizon, the CEO knows that this victory is just the beginning. The world is full of challenges, but he's ready to face them. Because now more than ever, he understands the power of standing up for what's right. If you've ever faced an overwhelming force in your life, share your story in the comments. And if you believe in standing up for what's right, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories of courage and transformation.